day 60 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, guys, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem. Hope you guys excited. But before we get started, guys, don't forget, bring your mouse. Bring your mouse right over here, and click that subscribe button for me, guys. Then after you click that subscribe button, you already know I need you to go ahead and smash that like button for me, guys. And then after you smash that like button, go ahead and drop that bank emoji in the comments. I need all of my bankers out there to go ahead and drop a bank emoji in the comments so we can run this engagement up and we could build this Swift community together, and we could help bring up more awareness to the Swift community, guys. Now, with that being said, the part you've all been waiting for, the question. And today we have question number 399, evaluate division. The difficulty level is medium, but you guys already know how we do. We're not going to let that deter us. We're still going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. So with that being said, let's see what the question says. It says you are given an array of variables, variable pair equations, and an array of real number values, where equations I equals AI, comma BI, and value I represents the equation AI divided by BI equals values I. Each AI or BI is a string that represents a single variable. You're also given some queries where query J equals CJ, comma DJ represents the jth query, where you must find the answer for CJ divided by DJ. Return the answers to all queries. If a single answer cannot be determined, return -1. Note, the input is always valid. You may assume that evaluating the queries will not result in division by 0, and there is no contradiction. Note, the variables that do occur in this list of equations are defined so the answers cannot be determined for them. So, yeah, that's a little confusing. So let's break it down. This is an interesting question. It's a lot of math. I hope you guys put your algebra hats on because you're going to need it. So basically what we're going to do, we have input of equations. A comma B is a 2D array. We have A comma B and B comma C, right? So what these represent is, this is A divided by B, which leads us to the values. Then we have the values 2 comma 3, right? So first we have A, this represents A divided by B, and this is our answer for A divided by B, 2. So we're going to look at index 0, and we're going to look at index 0 of equations. That gives us our answer is index 0 in values, right? So A divided by B gives us 2, and B divided by C gives us 3. So what we have to do is solve for A and B and C so that we can solve these queries, which are A divided by C, B divided by A divided by E, A divided by A, and X divided by X. So I'm going to insert a video right here so you can see how we solve for those and where the equations come from. Okay, so remember, guys, we're going to have to go back in time. We're going to have to remember that algebra that they taught us way back when we were taking algebra, guys. But if once you understand that portion of it, then it's not going to be so hard. So put your math hats on and let's see how we're going to do this. Luckily, the first query is not that difficult, and that's the example I'm going to show y'all that we're going to solve for. So first, we know that A divided by B is equal to 2, right? And we know that we know that B divided by C is equal to 3, right? So that's what we have right there. And we're trying to see what A divided by C is going to equal, right? So to do that, we already know the B's will cross each other out, right? So that is going to give us A divided by C is equal to 6. Just like that, guys. That's how we get there. And if you notice, A divided by C is our first query. So we have to continue that same logic for all the queries. Now, okay, so now that we know how to solve for these, let's break this question. Let's continue to break this question down, right? So first it said, let's look at the explanation. It says A divided by B gives us 2. Then it says B divided by C gives us 3, right? So then the queries are A divided by C gives us what? As we just showed, it gives you 6, right? So then we're going to come over here, right here, That's a divided by c. Now we gotta do b divided by a, which is right here, and that gives us 0.5 after we solve for those. Then we come right here and we need to do a divided by e, which is we don't know what e is, right? There's no way to solve for e, and since there's no way to solve for e, we're just going to return -1. Then we're going to come right here, a divided by a, right? A divided by a number divided by itself is always going to be 1. That's why the answer is 1. But then we have this as well, x divided by x, and if you notice, x divided by x gives us -1, even though it's a number divided by itself. However, since we cannot solve for x because we have no way to solve for x, we're just going to return -1 because there's no possible way for us to solve for x, right? X is undefined. It says right here, x is undefined. That's why it's -1. So now that we understand what the question is asking, let's see how we are going to solve this question, or how we are going to code this question. The first thing we are going to do is we need to declare some variables up here. We're going to come up here and we're going to declare a variable called graph, right? And graph is going to be equal to, it's going to be array string, and we're going to cast that as, it's going to be a dictionary, and it's going to say be a string and a double. We'll come out here and initialize it with our parentheses. Then we're going to come down here and we declare another variable called scene. Scene is going to be equal to set, and that's going to be, we're going to set a string, and then we'll initialize it with our parentheses. And then we're going to come down here, and what we are going to do is we're going to do what we've been doing the last few questions, and that is create a helper function. And the helper function is going to be called DFS. And DFS is going to have a cur node. We're going to call that current node, and that is going to be a string. Then we'll come over here and we are going to have a target node, and that target node is also going to be a string. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to have a product, and that product is going to, that product is going to be a double. And after all that, we are going to return a double. So let's get started with the code. First, we're going to say scene.insert cur node. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to declare a variable called res equals -1.0. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to say let neighbors equal graph. Then we're going to open up our array brackets and we're going to put in cur node, and this is an optional, guys, so we're going to put an exclamation point right there. Then we're going to say if let value is equal to, or not equal to, but if let value equals neighbors, then we're going to open up the array bracket and put, we're going to put target node. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to say res equals product, times value, right? Then we're going to come right here and we're going to, we're going to say else for next node comma value in neighbors. We are going to say if scene dot contains next node, then we are going to continue. Then we're going to come down here and we'll say res equals DFS next node, comma, target node, comma, product times value. Then We're going to come underneath that and we're going to say if res is not equal to 1, or excuse me, is not equal to -1, we are going to break. Then we're going to come right here and we are going to say scene.remove cur node, and we are going to return res. Now that we've done that first helper function, it's time to get into this function, the next function. And in order to do that, first thing we are going to do is we are going to say for index in 0 up to equations that count. We are going to say let item 1 equal equations. Then we're going to say index, and we're going to come outside the index and we'll say 0. Then we're going to do the same thing and we'll say let item 2, equal equations. Then we'll say index. We're going to come outside the index and we're going to say 1. And then we're going to come right here and we're going to say graph. Open up those array brackets. Open up those array brackets and say item 1, comma, default. Then we're going to put the blank dictionary. Guys, and we're going to come outside of that, and we're going to say open up some more array brackets and say item 2 equals values. Open up the array brackets, index. Then we're going to come down here again and we're going to say graph. And this time we're going to say item 2, comma, default. Then we're going to empty array, come outside of that, and we're going to say open up the array brackets and say item 1 equals 1.0 divided by values index. Right? Not done yet though, guys. Not done yet. Then we're going to come down here and we are going to say var declare variable ands, set that equal to, that's going to be an array of doubles. Then we'll come down here and we'll say for query and queries. Check the spelling. Gotta check the spelling. Sorry guys. For query and queries, we're gonna say let first var equal query. We'll put a 0, right? Then we are going to say let second var equal query 1. Then we'll come down here and we're going to say if graph array brackets, open up the array brackets, first var equals nil, or graph, open up the array brackets, second var equals nil. Come over here, we're going to say ands dot append -1.0. Then we'll come down here and we're going to say, we're going to come down here and say continue. Then after we do that, we are going to come right here, we're going to come underneath that, we're going to say if first var is equal to second var. Then what we're going to do is say ands dot append 1.0. Then we're going to come down here underneath that and say continue. Then we'll come underneath that and we are going to say if let value equals graph. Then we're going to open up those array brackets and we're going to say First of all, come outside those, put question mark. Then we're going to say graph. Then we're going to say, or no, not graph. We're just going to open up the array brackets and say second var. Then what we are going to do, excuse me, is say ans dot append value. Then we're going to come down here and we're just going to say continue. Then we're going to come down here and we are going to say ans dot append DFS first var, comma, second var, excuse me, comma, 1.0. Then we're going to come down here. We're just going to say return ans. So let's run it. Let's run it. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, we got a typo. It says expected. Let me see. Oops. Let me, sorry about that, guys. We'll just do it like this. Just do it like this. And that should be it. Let's run it and see. Okay, so now we at line 17. Line 17 cannot find graph. We got a typo on line 17. So, whoa, let's run it again. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Now let's submit it, guys, and see what it says after we submit it. And it's accepted, guys. Now that's what I'm talking about. So we got 2 milliseconds, be 75.91% of users with Swift, guys. It's not bad. This is an interesting question. There's a lot of code, so let's start from the top. Let you get the code, so you can see the code, go over it, do what you need to do so you can understand it. So make sure you get it all. Let's see, let you get it all. And yeah, guys, that's all she wrote. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. Peace.